you know, what do you want at that $6 trip? You want to get it because I was trying to load it up. What's up, little man?
Say hi.
Hi.
Come on, get in.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
That's good.
You don't want to put the belt on?
Yeah.
My name's Chris. I'll be your driver. I'm recording for our safety.
Okay. It's all right.
Make sure that damn thing ain't passing by, man. There it is, right there. Right here?
Yes.
Just pull it back. Have a good one, little man. Oh, he said, how you gonna, how am I supposed to get out of here with the seatbelt on?
Hold on. Hello? Come on, Bear. Come on, Papa.
Have a good one, ma'am. Thank you.
Come on, Papa. This way.
Some drivers will go home and shit. Don't want them driving this shit. Hours and 12 minutes. $150. Astroworld. Where art thou, Astroworld? Where art thou? Texas Cyclone. That's what they built there instead. What the fuck is this? Car dealership. Burning hot. got me. Fuck those trucks, man.
New message from Lana. Gate 4.
Where the fuck is that at?
Are you at Gate 4? Okay, I see you driving to the gate.
Hello. It's very wet.
Normally I wouldn't do this, but
Well,
it's wet. don't
yeah, I
like
just
it.
let the windows down for a second.
Oh, already. I need to make sure I get my badge.
Got it.
Yeah, you good though.
I can't
Yeah,
get
got
out
it.
through here, can I?
Huh? Oh no, not this gate. You have to go back.
All right.
Please use your seatbelt for your safety.
I'm about to put it on.
You have enough room back there?
Yeah, that's good.
My name is Chris. I'm your driver, and I'm recording for our safety.
Okay. It's okay. Nice to meet you, Chris.
The pleasure's mine. I don't know if it's gonna rain. Just let it get it over with and stop playing with us.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be done ready by the time I get off of work.
I turn left.
Oh, you can go either way.
First it was looking like right, and then it was looking like left. Because once you make a few turns, it takes a while for it to catch and snap.
I thought it was going to be cold today, but I guess I was wrong.
I got my jacket just in case it got cold.
I should have brought mine.
Now this Texas, it could snow tomorrow. It might be 100 tomorrow. You never know.
It's true.
So I get on for Alameda? Yeah. Get on and get off?
You could get off for Alameda,
Oh,
or if another one, Holly Hall, but Alameda will take you to where you need to go.
Tear that shit up.
Wow, I didn't expect that.
Final day, May 31st, 22. Yeah, it's been shut down for a while. Now, you know this guy's playing the role right here, right?
Can't really see. I'm not gonna.
That dude not homeless.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Just lazy than a motherfucker. Right up here?
Mm-hmm.
Have a great day, ma'am. Thank you so much.
How do I open this? Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
These new cars, they're nice, but a little.
Have a good day, ma'am. Thank you.
much.
Hello, sir.
They don't make it easy on you here, do they? They don't make it easy
I
on
was gonna have
either
to,
of us.
I was gonna crash through the gate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir. What are you judging the bulls or what?
No, I wish I was. No, it's an energy conference. Just talking about a bunch of boring energy and legal and regulatory and financial stuff.
Why are you supposed to stop right here?
I think as long as you're not on the tracks.
I'm very close to it. One just left, so. Because regardless, it's never going to be the train's fault.
No, never.
I don't know, I'm kind of antsy, man.
It's hard to see, huh?
Yeah, I was like, But at least this side you can see it coming. This coming this way.
Yeah, that's right.
Or this is gonna be electricity versus electricity. Oh shit! I hear something. I ain't waiting. I'm not waiting. It's set this way.
I was
Now it says
walking from an Airbnb
Uh-huh.
to the conference center this morning, and I was on other side over there, other side of the conference center, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
by South Loop, and I don't know, maybe I was in Franklin, I don't know what I was on. But anyways, I was walking on the sidewalk, and I heard the crash, and I looked about 100 yards behind me, and there was two cars in the intersection, and very close to one car broadsided the other car.
Mm-hmm.
The one that got broadsided was about a foot away from having been pushed onto the tracks, and nobody was stopping or anything. So I went over, and the one car that was broadsided looked like a husband and wife, and I couldn't get his door open. He was eventually able to get it open from the inside because it was so crushed, but he was just complaining about like his side hurt because I think the door bent in and hit him.
You got to be careful when you're trying to help people though, because they could sue you.
I know. I got out of there pretty soon, and then and then the lady who broadsided him, I don't know, probably somebody ran a light. I thought she would be fine because she was in a big Suburban, and I went over and she's like asleep at the wheel.
She's
But
knocked out.
the airbag had deployed and knocked her out. Completely knocked her out. And so fortunately, her window was down a little bit, and she looked Hispanic. And so I said in English, you know, ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay? Can you wake up? And she kind of was a little groggy and then went back under. And I was like, well, shit, maybe she speaks Spanish. So I was like, Señora, you know, está bien. And then she perked up, but then she spoke to me in English. It wasn't that she couldn't understand me, but she could hardly speak. I think she really got hit hard.
Yeah.
She
did the hitting or she got hit?
She did the hitting.
Yeah.
But I still don't know if it was her fault, right? Because I didn't see it. It definitely looked like somebody ran a red light.
Yeah.
One of the, maybe both of them, who knows, ran the light. But, and, you know, shit, she looked like she was a dental assistant or a doctor's assistant or a nurse. She had a uniform on. Nice car. You know, I was concerned she might be a mom with kids in the back, so I opened it up. Nobody was in there. But she could just hardly talk and hardly motion. And so she's
in shock.
She's in shock. So she gave me her husband's phone number and asked me to call him because she couldn't even reach for her phone. And he got me a little bit later. He didn't pick up. I texted him. He got me maybe 20 minutes later. And he said she's fine. She's just really sore. But they're all looking. They were like, hopefully, they were hoping I was a witness. I was like, no, I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
I just heard it. And I said there was a young black man at the scene who, like, his car got a little banged up.
So he probably saw, right?
I think he might have seen it, right? But I said I didn't get his name, but the police would have. And I'm not from here, so I didn't even know if it was a bad area because I wanted to stay there until the paramedics came. because she had her like Gucci purse right on the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Right. And I've had friends who've gotten in car accidents in bad areas, and nobody helps them, and their
They
watch, their
snatch
wallet,
their sheet.
everything's gone. You know, and they're not able to.
Man, the decency of some, or
Yeah.
no decency in
Right.
some people.
You know, they're not able to defend themselves. They're
Yeah.
helpless.
Well, you know what comes when you're walking around with that type of purse or Louis Vuitton purse, and
Yeah.
you know, even if it's a fake one. And,
Yeah, somebody's you're a target.
yeah, me and my friend. Well, we're not friends anymore. We went to Amsterdam, and his girl and her friend, I think they had them fake knockoff purses, man.
Yeah.
Tracked all the eyeballs, man.
Yeah, right.
Like, I told my homeboy, I said, man, if they snatch it and run, what we supposed to do, man?
That's why I
It's
always
because they
wear-
could lure us into a
Yeah.
trap.
That's why I always wear a cowboy hat, because everybody likes a cowboy.
Oh, you're talking about the real cowboy.
Nobody messes with a cowboy. They love it.
But you're not talking about the Dallas Cowboys, right?
No. Guys.
Man, they need to repaint these stripes right here.
Yeah, especially when they're wet, because everything shines, right? It's hard to see.
Yeah, but those are slippery when they're wet. Shit, they're slippery to a motorcycle when they're dry.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't see why people cut the lane. And I have no mercy for those motorcycles.
I'm from Denver, and people in Denver drive like assholes. It's horrible.
It can't be worse than over here.
It's really bad.
You know, this is the #1 road rage city in the United States.
Which is Denver? Or Houston? Really?
The
Oh,
most
that's-
killings, the most shootings.
That's not good, because I have a quick finger.
Well, I don't have a gun, so I just duck.
Yeah.
But everybody, you can have a gun over here.
I have a gun, but I've never fired it.
Well, that's
Never fired it. I bought it during the pandemic because I thought that the economy was going to collapse and I was going to need to defend my home.
yeah.
And-
Well, you need to make sure your aim's A1.
Yeah,
You gotta shoot it.
I know. I got some blinkers. It was funny because during the pandemic, and I was living in Portland, Oregon, so
Oh.
everything was falling apart in Portland, and so I came back. I came back on a Friday, and on Monday the FAA grounded all air travel.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like, oh, this is really bad. So I went on that Friday when I got back, I went to the local feed store, and there's all these rednecks, like Oregon rednecks.
Yeah.
Oregon rednecks suck, man. They're fucking hillbillies. And I'm like a Willie Nelson redneck. And
I love Willie
I
Nelson.
love Willie Nelson. And so I'm standing there. There's all these dudes at the counter, and this cute young lady behind the counter, she comes up, she, Wrangler's Pearl Snap shirt. She's like, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, I want to buy a 12 gauge pump. And she laughs and she's like, "We don't have any more 12 gauge pumps." And I'm like, "Okay, how about a 9mm?" She says, "We have one left right here."
What kind was he?
Smith & Wesson.
They have a hammer or no?
No, it's a shield. So it's the one that the police used to carry in a lot of jurisdictions. It's really it's a very difficult action. It's not. My friends who have guns told me to get a Glock, but it was beggars couldn't be choosers.
Yeah.
Right? And so I said, "Okay, can I see it?" And I said, "Can you show me how to put a bullet in the cartridge?" And she laughs and she goes, "You mean a round in the magazine?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." And, so I'm asking different questions, and she's like, "Okay." And I said, "Well, I'll take it." And she's like, "Not so fast." She goes, "We'll put you on the list, but you've got to go through a records check." And,
the standard.
Yeah, and she said, "And right now,
It's backed
let me
up.
see." She goes, "You'll be number 1644
Yeah.
in line for a records check." I'm like, "Holy cow!" She goes, "That's in the state of Oregon." And I'm like, "All right, so you'll let me know?" "Yeah, I'll let you know." "Okay, I live a mile away. I'll come back. What? A few days?" She's like, "Hold on. you've got to enter your details into the system. And you need to stay here. You need to make sure they're correct, or you're not even going to get in the line. I said, all right. And all these other dudes were there that had been a week or two before.
They're
picking them up.
Yeah.
Right? And so she puts all my shit into the system. And this nice young lady who didn't look like she could say shit if her mouth was full of it says, holy fuck. Holy fucking shit. And the guy in front of the register goes, what's wrong? She turns around, she points, and she goes, he was immediately approved.
Oh, you're
And the guy goes, immediately approved.
The government?
Yeah, he goes, are you a Fed or something? And she goes, no, he doesn't know shit about guns. And so I have all sorts of weird-ass clearances. I don't work for the government, but I have weird clearances.
Yeah.
Because I've done government projects, and I was on a trade mission in Mexico, and a bunch of weird-ass clearances. And so I guess it went right through. And I'm like, all right. And she's just kind of looking at me big-eyed. I said, I'll take the gun.
She's motherfucker, you.
Yeah, I said, I'll take 2 boxes of rounds. And she laughs and she goes, you can't get any 9mm rounds in the entire state of Oregon. I don't know if you can get any 9mm rounds in the United States.
What
right
you got to
now.
do? Throw it at somebody?
Right. And I'm like, so I'm worse than Barney Fife. Barney Fife doesn't have one gun. And so I go home and I go online and I'm searching around. And I find in North Carolina, high velocity, high density, hollow tip rounds. Badass rounds. And I'm like, and they got them. And I'm like, all right. So I put in my, NRA credentials and everything and put everything in it. And it's like for law enforcement or professional security personnel only. And I keep going and I keep going. It's like, how many boxes would you like? And I'm like, 10. And they're like, you can't have 10. It comes back. 7 is the maximum. 7. So within 5 days, I had 7 boxes of badass ammunition on my doorstep, which I've never used.
What is 100 rounds in the
25 rounds in each box,
okay.
I think. Yeah.
What kind of hollow points were they?
I have no idea because I don't know shit about guns. But I've got a number of guys who work for me who are concealed carry guys, and I do a lot of stuff in the mountains and in the woods and shit. And I was taking them out for their review, and I said, these 3 guys, right? And I said, let's not do it in an office. Let's go for a hike. They're like, all right, boss. So we go for a hike, and they're like, you spend a lot of time out in these woods, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I run out here, I mountain bike. They're like, do you carry any weapons? You afraid of animals or people? I'm like, no, never had a bad experience. I said, what about you guys? Are you guys carrying? They're like, we're all carrying right now, boss. I'm like, well, okay. I said, well, maybe I should get a concealed carry permit. And they're like, no, you shouldn't, boss. I said, well, why the hell not? You guys all have them. They said, you'll actually kill somebody.
Why you said that?
Yeah, they said they
seen you get mad before?
Have I killed somebody?
No, they seen you get mad before?
They know, like when I helped those people today, they would not help those people because they said that when they get their concealed carry, that they go through a lot of training, and you don't want to put yourself in a position of risk where you may have to draw and fire. And if you're going into a situation like that that's unknown, you don't know the disposition of those people. Maybe in one of those vehicles there was a person that's, not a good person, like a gangster or a drug addict or whatever.
Or Uber driver.
Or an Uber driver with a bad attitude. And so they won't do that. Like I stop on the side of the road when I see people that have car trouble.
But that can be dangerous too because you can get hit.
Yeah, definitely. And oftentimes I've stopped and told people that have their whole family there by the car. Mm-hmm. I say, hey, I don't want to be a jerk, but I would highly recommend that you guys move up on the embankment here. Move your family up on the embankment. Get away from the car. And then I'll intervene in shit. Like if I see somebody being mistreated, I'll intervene. And
you really got to be careful.
Yeah, and they just won't. They will not. And I was just sort of raised that way.
Yeah.
And they said, so you
Good Samaritan.
You would put yourself in a situation where you would end up shooting somebody. You would draw and fire.
But they shouldn't tell you that.
No, assholes.
Yeah, well, I've learned my lesson. It's not worth helping somebody, man, because one time somebody wrecked, a box truck got hit, and I went to go try and help, right? And so as soon as the laws get there, is that him? Is that him? I'm like, I'm trying to help, man. What are you talking about? The dude who was drunk, because one of them was drunk. It's obvious who was the drunk one. And I told him, say, man, if I was you, I'd fucking...
Are you white or do you have some Hispanic?
No, I'm Mexican.
You're Mexican, so you get profiled too.
Oh yeah, but I get profiled as white though.
Yeah, that's good. See, my dad's.
But on the phone, I get profiled as black.
Do you? Okay.
So
my dad's native, and so you know, he's 93, but when he was growing up, it was called blending. Right, so if you wanted to pass for something other than native.
Yeah.
And it was better for him to pass as Mexican at the time.
Yeah.
Right, back in the 40s and 50s, than as native.
Man, it's sad how they did those Indians, man. Because of course, my people are Indians too.
Yeah. Right.
Whoever had the guns and the horses won, man.
I know.
That's just like the tank and the missiles now,
I'm such an asshole. I got a buddy, he's Mexican, and I was asking Gonzalo, I'm like, so man, where did your family originate from? I do a lot of stuff in Mexico. What part? He says, Texas. And I said, no, man, before Texas. He's like, Texas. And I said, yeah, but before Texas, where'd they come from? He said, they were in Texas before it was Texas.
Tejas.
Yeah.
Good old Tejas. So Native American Indians.
Yeah.
Comanche, Karankawa. Yeah, I try to help people, man, but you got to weigh shit out by how it looks.
Yeah, you definitely need to assess. When I was young, I was living in Davis, California. I was going to school there, and I was a rock climbing guide in Yosemite, and so I'd work there on the weekends, and it was a long drive. You'd have to drive I-5 south down through Stockton and Lodi, and then you would turn east up into the mountains. And they have in California this shit called Tule fog. And Tule fog settles into the San Joaquin Valley there. There's no wind, it's cold in the farmland in the winter. And it just sets in, and the visibility can be, you would hardly be able to see that Mercedes in front of you.
Yeah.
Hardly be able to see it. And it can be very dangerous. And so I'm driving, safely, heading down, and right by the Jersey barricades, like over there's this lady kind of pops out. I'm right next to the barricades, and she's waving her arms. So I pull over, which wasn't safe because nobody can see shit, but it's got like an emergency lane over there. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, there's been a horrible accident. I'm like, where? And she said, up there, up the road on the other side of the highway, and right over here, and I had just completed my EMT training.
Mm-hmm. So you're anxious.
I just completed, right? And so I start jogging up there with her, and it doesn't look bad at all, right? Because I'm at the tail end, and I get to the front, and the cars are piled 2 and 3 on top of one another.
Damn.
And it was a 68 car accident.
Damn.
And I was the first responder because the fire and
they couldn't get there. Huh?
They couldn't get there. They had to figure out a way to get there. I don't know if they had to get an excavator or a dozer to move the barricades or something, but everything was blocked off. So about a half an hour, 35 minutes, and so you have to go into, it's called triage, right?
Yeah.
You kind of assess the situation and see who you could reasonably provide medical attention to, or if you need to move somebody, even though you're not supposed to move somebody, if it looked like their injuries were going to be worse, if they've got like heavy shit laying on them where they can't breathe, or there's a threat of fire or whatever. But yeah, I wrote off 2 people as dead. That they weren't dead yet.
Yeah,
it was
but
hard. It was like, okay,
You got to say the ones you can't
yeah,
see.
these ones aren't going to make it. And I called, I think once I got to Yosemite, I called my girlfriend who's now my wife, and I told her, and she goes, oh my God, yeah, I saw that on the news. I said, yeah, I think I wrote off 2 people that I couldn't help as dead. She goes, well, it's good you're a shitty EMT, because the news said that everybody survived. But one guy, man, I mean, he was down under 2 cars. And like when I got up to the front,
With the good grace of God.
there's all these dudes standing up on the vehicles looking down. And I was like, hey man, I'm an EMT. If there's anything I can do, let me know. And they turn around, they're like, thank God you're here. I was like, oh shit. And so that guy,
You're the only one.
I had to crawl down to him, and the cab of his little pickup truck had gotten crushed, like hit him hard on the head, right? And he was laid over in the passenger seat, and I could barely get to him. And I got to his radial pulse on his wrist, and there was nothing. And I got to his carotid pulse on his neck, and it was super thready. You could hardly feel it. And he was starting to convulse because of the head injury. And there was no way I could get him out of there. And I was like, well, fuck, all right, he's going to die. And then the other guy, an old man, he had his seatbelt on, but it was an old late model vehicle. And it had the whole seat had gone up, put his head through the window, and then come back. And he was scalped from the eyebrows to about halfway over the crown of his head. And I was like, okay, fuck, he's dead.
So they happened to make it though.
So I helped about 3 or 4 other people that, had like pretty bad bleeding that needed to be stopped, and one lady who had a really ugly compound fracture. So those freak people out.
Yeah, because you see the bone.
Yeah. So she was in big shock.
And one time I was going from Houston to Corpus, and it was on Good Friday. I see somebody because I got a flat tire, so I put the donut on there. I see somebody with the hood up. It was smoking and shit. I was like, man, if that was me, I would want some help too. I pull over. It was a Mexican national, man. He didn't know no fucking English, man.
Can you speak it? You speak the
Yeah,
language?
a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, but he, I just wanted to give him a ride,
Yeah.
And he was like, hold on. He has the big ass bottle of Crown. I'm like, what the fuck? He said, oh, hold on. Man, he has a fucking gun and 100 box of bullets. I'm like, man, what the fuck did I just do, man?
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, but I had a stash spot in my car, so I popped it open and told him to put the gun in there. Then finally, when I dropped him off, he said, man, I owe you $100. I'm like, nah, you don't owe me shit. You good, homeboy? I just want you to get the fuck out the car, man. So I was like, man, I'm never picking up anybody on the side of the road, man. I don't care.
Did he look like a badass, or?
Nah, but he was illegal,
What do they call those cartel assassins?
The sicarios.
Sicarios, yeah.
Because he started, when I'm a police, I know where to look. I'm like, shit, your ass ain't gonna be no police, bro. Like, but he thanked me and all that. I said, man, it was he had the gun. I couldn't tell him, nah, you can't have a ride now. But I dropped him off. Yeah, I owe you $100. Nah, that's all right, man. You good? Like, get the fuck out of here, please.
Yeah, I have a business partner in Ciudad de Zacatecas. And Zacatecas is a beautiful state, right in the middle of Mexico. High elevation. It's Spanish colonial. Really pretty town. Only about 8,000 people, and it was a sort of a middle road area for the Zetas cartel.
Yeah, the
fractionators.
Zetas.
Yeah, and we were doing construction projects there, and so we had to pay la pincha, you know, so the cartel would leave you alone, and so that's why
you got to pay them, right?
Yeah, that's why Juan Pablo was my business partner. He would prime the projects because U.S. businesses can't engage in bribery and shit like that.
Yeah, but you want to live.
If I'm a subcontractor, you know, and Juan Carlos can pay the fines, you know, he works it into his price, it's fine. But we were going out to look at a project in San Luis Potosi, and you had to travel on a road that was known as the Cartel Highway, Calle de Cartel, and so the cartel would just drive around in regular pickup trucks with like 4 to 6 guys in the back with automatic weapons.
Yeah.
Just sitting in there. They were driving around and you know, they had didn't have any thoughts about us. But we came through this one little town on the way back. We went early in the morning, we came back in the afternoon, and there's 2 young girls standing on either side of the street in their school uniforms, you know, like Catholic school uniforms.
Yeah.
And they're holding a fucking string across the road. And Juan Pablo drives up, and he speaks to them quickly in Spanish, and they have a little tin can, and he puts 1,000 pesos in the can. And I was like, what was that? He said, oh, it's a donation from their school. And I said, 1,000 pesos, that's a good donation. He goes, well, it's not really for the school. And he said, if you don't make a donation, then
They're calling
the cartel will chase you out, get you later down the road.
So 1,000 pesos at that time was how much?
About $100.
So what you think about the Don getting reelected?
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't know. I've got no problems with the Republican Party. You know, just I don't think he's a nice guy.
Nah, he's not.
And I think the people he wanted to appoint was just fucking ridiculous. You know, to different offices.
Dr. Oz.
Yeah, you know, it's like a fucking panel of pedophiles and sex offenders, and it's just like, and I know, so
Well, that's what he
I'm
is.
I'm a Willie Nelson redneck, so I am a Democrat, and so the Democrats will turn things into sort of hyperboles. You know, they'll take any small offense and blow it out of proportion. So I don't know all the facts. I know some of these people that he was putting up were also not nice people, and that he was doing it intentionally to see if his party would just follow anything.
They're going to do whatever he says.
But now they're not. They push back, and they're like, "Hey, we're not gonna."
Oh well, they got to get approved through the.
Yeah, we're not gonna appoint these people. We're not even gonna consider it.
Matt Gaetz, come on, man, y'all tripping.
Yeah. So it did. You know, that showed a little bit of hope that there's going to be some check and balance.
They're all in each other's pockets, man. And Elon just pushed his way in there.
I don't like that motherfucker either.
Well, me neither. He's not even American. He's over here meddling in the politics, man. He's not a good person either. So
I don't know why. You know, I guess I know why, but it still confuses me why people of color and women vote for Trump. You know, I know it's all about, you know, looking for a better way of life.
Man, one of my homeboys, he's Mexican. He voted for Trump. He said he's about the money.
Yeah, it's about the money.
He said, yeah, my 401k went up. I don't know how much in one day. I'm like, yeah, but who knows how much it's gonna be worth tomorrow?
The Mexicans like him, the blacks like him, a bunch of women like him. I don't like him.
I don't like him either. He's a funny guy. He makes me laugh.
He's entertaining.
Yeah, but as far as doing right for the country, I don't think he will. But I hope he does.
Yeah.
And the people in Austin do not like him one bit, man.
People in Austin don't like it? No, that's a liberal town.
Yeah, because I work over there, and I'll go drive over there. And it was slow this past week because of the fucking holidays. I did not know everybody fucking leaves Austin for the holidays. So that means on Christmas I'm not going over there for the holidays. Damn, am I in the turning lane or what?
How far is it to Austin?
It's 80 miles from San Antonio.
But how far is it from Houston?
I don't know. I think like 3 hours. I think.
3 hours.
I think
Yeah.
it's close to the same amount of time as San Antonio. Haven't made that trek from. I'll just make it from San Antonio to over here.
Yeah.
Well, the people are very nice over there, though. They drive good. They're not blowing the horn, sticking the finger at you.
Yeah.
It's a whole different class of people, man.
Yeah.
Professional people,
Yeah. Professional people, liberal people.
college students.
Yep. Yeah, I like going there.
That's a great city, man.
It is.
It's a great city.
It is.
I hate to say it, it's better than Houston as
I like San Antonio too, though.
I don't like it. I wasn't raised there, so I don't know many people. And the road raging over there is, because I do have a YouTube channel that I put content on.
Thank you.
That's one of the road rages right there. Car tried to clip me, man, and I moved out the way. He started spinning right in front of me. And just the other day, somebody tried to hit me too, and I'm like, best believe you hit me, I'll get out this car, and if I can get out this car, I'm fixing to whoop some ass.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you did it on purpose, you know. But what the problem is, and I know, and I realize because I was doing delivery and all this shit, there's too many immigrants over there, man.
Where?
In San Antonio.
San Antonio?
Because it's a sanctuary city.
Gotcha.
They can't ask you for ID and deport you and shit like that. Well, probably no, even with Trump, because he doesn't like those sanctuary cities.
No.
And almost every sanctuary city is a San Diego, San Francisco, San Antonio.
Yeah.
They're all saints.
Portland is not. Like, I spent 2.5 months a year in Portland, and the rest of the time.
Yeah, but Portland got crazy during all that.
It got crazy, but it's, it's not a sanctuary.
They tried to say it was lawless.
Yeah.
Lawlessness over there.
There was a lot of that. There's so you can, the drug laws are so liberal in Portland that you have.
It's right here?
I think so. Yeah.
That's what it looks like, but
Yeah, let's see.
Victory Wine Group,
No, it's,
Northwest Place Development.
There it is. It's ACS, just down the road a little bit, but you can let me out and I can walk. You can turn around.
I got you, man.
You got me?
I got you.
It's around the other side, kind of a pain in the ass.
I got you, man.
So a lot of people migrate there so they can use the drugs, and then it's to the left.
Okay.
And then there's also, because of the state constitution, you can't really do anything about the homelessness folks. They can camp on any public property, and so.
Well, I guess that does sound right, though.
Yeah.
They don't have nowhere, and public property is public. ACS?
Yeah, but this is. Hold on a minute, because I might add another ride, because this is ACS, but it's not where I went to the last time.
Yeah, it's 6509.
Yeah, let me just check.
All right,
you
no
got
problem.
a minute?
Yeah. Well, you're very easy to talk to, man. Hopefully your subordinates who's scared of you having a gun think the same.
Thank you, man.
Mhm.
You too. So I'm just going to an old email trying to figure this out. I don't know. It's on his signatory line, so I'll just assume this is it. And then if not, I'll call another Uber, and if you're still in the area, I might get you.
All right. Well, have a good one, sir.
You too, man.
Appreciate the
What's your
conversation.
name?
Chris.
Chris Blair.
Yes, sir. Blair.
Blair, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little road raging, a little cop interaction, a little fender bender, a little.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
So
Stick it in the handle and
there
pull
we
back.
go. Ah, nice. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, sir.
See you, Chris.
Thank you. All right. You don't need to call another Uber. I'll take you. Whatever you want to compensate me.
10120 Houston Oak Drive. So it's about 12 minutes away.
All right. It's whatever you feel like.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
feels good. So I can. Let's see if I can. How do you want me to do this?
However you want. However
like,
you want. Let me put it in here.
See how I.
But you say it's what's the address?
10120 Houston Oak Drive. So I tipped you and completed this ride.
Yeah, I already turned it off, so I wouldn't get another one. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, oh man, I can't give you a ride.
Okay, so let's see.
However you want to compensate me is fine. I'm not gonna haggle you.
If we let me put this on. If we stop at an ATM, I can get cash.
So however you want to do it.
Do you? Unless you can take. You can't take credit card, can you?
No, I
No,
can't.
I can't.
You have Cash App?
What's that?
Cash App?
I do. I have. I don't. My wife
What's
has
up to you? What's up to you? I don't want to make you.
No, just-
however easy for you.
We're on our way to.
Oh, I can do it to you for
10120.
free. I don't care.
No, and we'll. If you see an ATM, like even a convenience store, I can go in there and get some money.
Yeah, because I don't carry cash either. So
I usually do. I just gave it all to my wife before I left.
good husband.
She needed some money for something. She's got more money than I do, but she didn't have any cash on her.
Yeah, I like to be cool with my passengers, man. If they're cool with me, I'm cool with them, you know. But I've had to put somebody out the car. Well, they put their stuff out the car. It was some
Did they?
youngsters. Yeah. When they first get in the car, it was a young guy and a young girl. He's like, "Hey, what you got that camera for? You scared?" I look back at him like, "Scared of what?
Yeah.
I got this. I got this right here. I can make you shit on yourself." And then that's what he starts off with, and he's like, "Hey, can I smoke in the car, man?" I'm like, he says, "Oh, you smoke weed, man?" I said, "Man, you smell like a pound of weed right now." Then he started talking about my haircut. Then he started asking me if I had lice. I said, man, you're getting a little too out of hand, man. He's like, well, you can let me out. I'm like, I said, well, truthfully, you're not the one who ordered the ride. You're just the ride along. She ordered the ride. Well, she does everything I say. I'm like, so I thought he wanted to fight. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
He was a youngster. I was gonna beat his ass.
My poor buddy threw up in an Uber, and it was my fault. So I met him. There's a band I like called the Drive-By.
Damn, look at this dude.
Yeah, he just smoked around. Band's called the Drive-By Truckers. They were playing in Portland. I said, hey Mark, let's go to the Drive-By Truckers. And you know, like we hit the bar beforehand and had a couple of makers on the rocks, and then we get into the venue, the band started. I'm like, hey, you want me to go get you another makers? He's like, yeah, sure. And then it was like, you know, fourth call, I'm like, hey, you want me to get you another one? If you stop at that service station on the right, I bet they got an ATM.
Yeah, I got you.
And then he did the old Irish goodbye. He was gone. And
but when they throw up in an Uber, it's $250 for us to clean it up.
Yeah, I don't know. He said he felt so bad, but he said he suddenly realized he drank way too much. I'm like, you only had like 4 shots, man. He's like, yeah, I haven't been drinking, and I threw up in this girl's car. I'm like, what an asshole.
Well, you can't help, but you know what? When that wind hits you, when you've been drinking and that wind hits you, it fucks you up.
All right, Matt. Chris, give me one
yes,
second.
Sir.
There we go. All right, we rich now, Chris.
About time. Took me long enough.
You know who this fucker is?
Who's that? Pancho?
No, looks like him. That's Zapata, Emilio Zapata.
The real liberator, right?
The real liberator.
Right, Pancho Villa was in.
And I was doing a bunch of work in Mexico, like I said, and I had 2 partners. Juan Pablo.
I ain't gonna lie, Juan Pablo sounds like a head cartel dude.
Yeah, I think he was connected. I think he might have been connected because we never had any trouble.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
We did on our wind farm. We were doing a wind farm for the Mexican Power Group and Siemens Gamesa. And we went up there the second day, and you know how they'll have some poor fucker sit there all night, and they, you know, I don't know, they pay him like maybe 100 pesos to sit there all night and be gate security. Mexican dude that looks like a white dude because he is so fucking terrified. There's a cooler, a styrofoam cooler sitting there with a big Z on it.
Oh, well.
And he points, and Juan Pablo and I go over and we lift it up, and it had like 2 or 3 hands and a foot in it. And, you know, probably from the fucking morgue or something, but it was because one of the subcontractors wasn't paying the pincheck. And so that was a little freaky. And then one time up on the wind farm, he gets a call from his wife, and she said that she got a call that his uncle has been kidnapped and that they wanted money, and it was like 10,000 pesos or something like that.
But someone who does that is allowed to do that by the cartel. If they're not allowed to do that, the cartel go back and kill them, right?
Right. So he verified that his uncle was fine, and he said that, you know, it's tough because you can't trust anybody. He said his only friends that he can trust are military officials. He says because you can't trust the federal police or the municipal police. And he said that a lot, like the phone call that his wife got, was probably from a municipal police officer.
Mm-hmm.
And they get paid so shitty that they use the fear of the cartel to try to get people to pay them
Without the cartels.
without the cartel going. And,
Oh, yeah, that's bad for them.
but this guy, this wallet, so we were doing this project with Siemens Gamesa, and my company has a proprietary foundation for wind turbines that is very cost effective.
For winter, what?
Wind turbines, big
Wind
big
turbines, all right.
The concrete foundation, it's proprietary. It requires 40% of the steel and 50% of the concrete, and so it's a big value. Right?
Yeah.
Because 25% of the construction cost on those wind farms is the foundation to get those fuckers to stand up and not fall over. And so Siemens Gamesa wanted to do an exclusive contract with us in Latam. They didn't want anybody else to be able to use our foundation. And so they take us out to this grand dinner, and my buddy Juan Pablo was having a really hard time getting change orders from Siemens Gamesa. He had like 600,000 in change orders that they weren't paying. And if, like, you see a wind farm and the foundations, like, it has all these bolts, big ass, like, you know, 3.5-inch diameter bolts that go into the concrete foundation around the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And on a GE turbine, there will be 144 of those on every single fucking foundation. And they put a neoprene cap over them. They're not going to rust, but just, you know, they just put a cap over them and it protects the bolt. And so he called me, I'm in the States, and he said, hey man, he said Siemens Gamesa says they're holding up the change order because those caps on the foundations, they said they're dusty. They want me to go out and dust them because the Spanish think Mexicans are dogs.
Yeah.
Right? They don't like Mexicans at all. And they don't like Americans very much either. But I said, look, man, I said, I'll pay you to go out and clean them. What do you think? You know, a couple of guys. He's like, yeah, man, there's 68 turbines. It's probably going to take like 3 or 4 days. I said, yeah, just go do it. Fuck it. I don't mind paying you. And he said, okay. And so he told the guy at Siemens Gamesa that they'd cleaned them all. And the guy sent him back a picture and said they're dirty again. And they would be, you know, because it's all dirt roads and shit like that. And you have vehicles and everything. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I've got to come down to Mexico anyways. They want to talk about this deal. Let's go out. So we go to their office and we're talking all about this deal. And they said, let's go to dinner and talk about how we secure this deal. So they take us to this grand dinner. And the bill comes. And they want to pay, and I said, no, I insist. I will pay when I'm in Mexico. I know that I'm your guest, but I want that someday that you all come to the United States, and then I'll take you to a place and you can pay.
Yeah.
And I throw this wallet down on the table, and they just fucking, you could have heard a pin drop. And
Like,
they
oh,
look
he's
at me and
connected.
They're like, are you joking? Do you know who that is? I said, yeah, that's Emilio Zapata. He liberated the Mexicans from Spain. I said, why do you have that? And I said, because my business partners are Mexican, not Spanish. And they're like looking at me and they're like, we don't appreciate that at all. You don't know our history. I said, I don't know your history very well, but I know your actions. And I said, if you think I'm going to sign an exclusive deal with you, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh, the Spaniards?
Yeah, well, yeah. Because I said, if you're going to treat my subcontractor, and they viewed him as a subcontractor.
Yeah.
He was still the prime, but they wouldn't acknowledge that. I said, if you're going to treat my subcontractor like a dog, how long is it going to be before you start treating me like a dog?
Yeah.
And I just, they got up and left, and I paid the fucking bill.
You gave them a
Never
dose
talked
of
to those guys
reality.
again. Fucking Spanish.
Well, that's what happened. They came over there to conquer, and the Aztecs, and they brought all that disease and rats with them. So the Black Plague, Part 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody has their good and their bad. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, the Spanish people, I've been to Barcelona. The Spanish people as a culture are nice, they're warm, they're a little bit high and mighty on themselves. They've all got royal blood, and so they like to kind of throw that around, Castilian, and that gets a little bit annoying, but they're fun people to socialize with. They're assholes to do business with.
Because they think they're better.
They do, and I've worked with.
But most Europeans think they're better, right?
Siemens Gamesa, Mexican Power Group is good. Siemens Gamesa is not. Acciona, they suck. Avangrid, they suck. All these companies that are based out of Madrid.
I don't know. I went to Europe one time. Went to meet my friends. Went to Amsterdam for a couple of weeks. No, it was 1 week. Man, I came back, my toes blister on every one of them.
A lot of walking.
Yeah, I felt like, cause I worked at Astroworld, it's the amusement park here when I was in high school. So that's what it felt like, a grown folks Astroworld.
Yeah, and it's all those cobblestone streets. That'll chew you up.
And everybody rides a damn bike. Because we would come up to the intersection where we're walking. I was like, man, that chick looks good. And she turns around, it's an old lady. The old ladies have maintained their body because they walk all the time.
Yeah, right.
They walk, and the stairs go up like this.
Yeah, exactly. They get a lot of exercise.
And then everybody has a bike.
Yep.
A bike costs like $2,000 at the time. Cost like at least $2,000.
Wow.
But then if you watch the news, you see the bike up under the rail car. They always always getting ran over. I'm like, I don't want to ride a bike. No bike for me. But that's how they could tell we were American, because we were fat. Americans are fat, man.
Yeah, when my wife and I got married, we deferred our honeymoon, and then we had touring bikes that you put the bags on, the panniers and shit, and we went for 14 weeks in Europe, and we rode from Frankfurt all the way down to Florence. And
from Germany to Italy?
yeah, went through Brussels in France, and down along the the Côte d'Azur, Monaco and Cinque Terre, everything, and we camped all but 5 nights.
So how was it, man?
It was great. Made our food, but nobody, none of the
Your
Europeans,
bond got closer, though. I know that
they
much.
did. None of the Europeans thought that we were American. They thought we were either Canadian or Australian, because they view Canadians and Australians as tough and athletic and adventurous, and they view Americans as fat, pudgy. You know, I would get a big ass car and drive it around Europe.
Yeah, but people don't like America, but they like our culture.
Yeah.
They like the Hollywood and
Yep. Yeah, they do.
they're enamored with the silver screen. But how are you gonna like that and don't like us? Truthfully, a lot of Americans are assholes, man. Guess the people on the higher end.
Yeah, yeah, and they see Trump, and you know, more than half of us voting for him.
That's what I don't.
Makes you feel a little embarrassed.
I'm disappointed in the American people, man. But a lot of people didn't vote.
Yeah.
If you don't vote, you don't have the right to complain.
Yeah, and I think it's time, man. I think that it's time to have a woman in charge. You know, do so much for
Most men don't feel that way.
our girls and our daughters and nieces. And,
Yeah, I'm for equal rights, man, of course. But women can't do what men do, but still, I want them to have equal rights, you know?
Oftentimes they're
And then
better.
men can't do what women do neither, so.
Yeah, oftentimes they're much better organizers, collaborators, negotiators.
But a man, that was what's wrong, that they didn't want a female.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they didn't go about it the right way because she wasn't voted.
Yeah. And it's all the fucking young white males.
Because the super PAC didn't want to put the money behind him.
Yeah.
Because he's too old already. So they're going to put it behind her. I don't know. I like Barack, even though everything he did wasn't
I like that.
good, man. Because what disappointed me when he went to Flint, Michigan, he barely acted like he tasted a sip of that water. You know, it's the polluted water.
Yeah, yeah.
To me, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
But he's a talker, man. You gotta have a talker, man. Like
You do.
somebody who can make people agree in the middle. And
Yeah. Exactly.
Trump is not that guy, man.
No.
He's
No,
my
he's
way or no way.
Yeah, he's an alienator. You know, he's gonna polarize. Not gonna unify.
Is it right here? No, a little bit more. The car behind me is like, oh shit.
This is looking like the neighborhood I remember.
All
I was
right.
just here like 6 weeks ago.
So how many frequent flyer miles you get in? Do you keep them all? Or
I have a ton, but I don't. Coming out of Denver, I take whatever. I'm kind of an airline whore. I'll just take whatever airline gets me there the quickest.
Oh, so it's spread out between a whole bunch of different
Delta,
airlines?
American, and United, and Southwest. And all of that. I could consolidate.
Do I go through here or? there's more
Yeah,
over here?
just
No,
go up,
more over here.
up there and then to the left, and this is the place. I was just going off of what was on his last email. He needs to change it. You can just drop me off here and I'll go through the pedestrian gate. Thanks, Chris.
Yes, sir. That's what I waited for you. Just make sure. But see, if we didn't have the great conversation, I would have burned off.
Your cash is right there.
Oh,
Man.
appreciate you, sir.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your time in the H.
Thanks, man. Drive safe.
Appreciate you. Yeah, all right. I was gonna have to wait for you again. Have a good one, sir.
Thank you.
$20. Let me get right here and let me upload a clip, man, and stop this one and start a new one. So I have less to do when I get home.